The Welsh seaside town of Aberystwyth may be best known for its hills, pubs and students, but on the edge of town sits Park Avenue, home of Aberystwyth Town FC. With 4 games of the season to go, Aber sit in 3rd place and stand a great chance of qualifying for the Europa League, but standing in their way are some of the toughest teams in the division.
Obviously, there's the prestige of competing in Europe, which is a massive thing. We've competed in Europe twice before, but never in the UEFA Cup or Europa League. I suppose once you're a director, you start looking at the pounds, shilling and pence aspect of it as well. And really what I think is that if we could do it, there's quite a significant financial reward for qualifying for Europe. And if we were able to reinvest some of that money in the playing squad, we might have a chance of establishing ourselves as a top 4 side for the years to come. And what happens then is that if you keep qualifying for Europe, you keep generating the money which keeps you there. Over the season, the team has proved that they're good enough to be a top 3 team. We've been in the top 3 now since January the 1st. I've got everything crossed, but I think we won't have a better chance than this of qualifying for Europe.
Aber Town start the game against Championship contenders Llanelli strongly with some positive play, but after an unlucky deflection they find themselves 1-0 down after only 6 minutes. Despite Aber's continued pressure, Llanelli stay strong, and Jeff Calloway's shot aside, there are few chances in the remainder of the half. Coming out to cheers in the second half, Aber retain the initiative, but chances remain few and far between. Just when it starts to look like it's not going to be their day, the Llanelli keeper flaps at a cross and Conald Murta sneaks in an equaliser in the 86th minute. An exciting evening in Aberystwyth is granted a fitting ending. This year marks the 125th anniversary of Aberystwyth Town FC, and the club have been a strong part of the community for years. We spoke to former club captain and chairman Donald Kane, who now runs Kane's Bar in town, to find out his thoughts on the season.
I fell in love with Aberystwyth as soon as I saw it. I came all the way down from Glasgow. I came down with my sister before I'd arrived at university. I only asked one question: do you play any football down here? That was the only question I asked. There's been great teams in Aberystwyth over the years, but I think the League of Wales has become a harder league. I think the managers have done well. I think Christian Edwards did very, very well, because at the very start of the season, you know, if someone had said to me, win the next 3 games and you're in Europe, I would have laughed at them 8 games in, because we were looking over our shoulders. That's the only time a manager comes under pressure for me, is when I'm not looking like that anymore. I'm looking over my shoulder. That's when I know he's under pressure, because I'm beginning to feel the pressure. I think we're getting closer. For the last 2 or 3 years, I think we've been treading water a bit, but I think we're getting closer. I think we've got a chance even if we finish 4th, because I get the feeling that if we don't finish 3rd, Port Talbot will finish 3rd. Then you get another bite of the apple, because Port Talbot, if they win the Welsh Cup, we will then qualify as 4th.
Another week in the Welsh Premier League, and another important game for Aber Town, this time away at current champions Rhyl. The match kicks off on a beautiful April afternoon, and after some tight initial play, really starts to get going. Luke Sherburn goes close for Aber early on with a shot from range, and after a darting run into the box, Luke Bowen has his penalty appeal turned down. Jeff Calloway also looks dangerous, and his shot is only prevented by a great save from the keeper. Down at the other end, Rhyl also have a good chance to take the lead, but they hit the crossbar and miss the rebound. In the second half, tension starts to show with some feisty exchanges between the two teams. Aber miss a free kick from a great position and look the better side, but in the 89th minute will score. With the dream of European football hanging in the balance, Aber refused to give up. With minutes to go, a driving run from Jeff Kellaway is stopped short in the area. Penalty awarded. Luke Bowen steps up. Minutes later, the final whistle blows and Aber Town secure another 1-1 draw against tough opposition, in the most dramatic of fashions. Following the Rill game, Aber get a 3-1 win away at Welshpool, putting them in 4th place, just behind Port Talbot Town, with only 1 game remaining. Due to Aber Town's inferior goal difference, they need a win at home against league leaders TNS, and Port Talbot Town to lose or draw in order to secure the European place. Match day arrives and the fans flock to Park Avenue for the big game. The match starts in a cagey manner, with few chances to speak of in the first half an hour. TNS keep possession well, but don't really trouble the home defence, though Aber suffer a blow when Luke Sherburn goes off with a rib injury. The two teams go in even at half-time, with it all still to play for. After the break, the game opens up for the visitors, and after having a shot cleared off the line, they finally score in the 58th minute. Aber captain Barry Morgan goes off injured, before TNS score a couple more goals in quick succession to put the game to bed. Aber get a consolation goal through Luke Bowen, but despite their best efforts, the class of TNS really shows in the 3-1 defeat. The away fans run onto the pitch in celebration while the Aber players watch on, having just missed out on a European spot, but achieving a very respectable 4th place in the league.
Start the season, if I was truthfully honest, we'd say if we're 10th, we'd probably settle for it. After a tough start, I think we've come good. Boys, nothing much has changed since the first manager left. Just a bit more belief from the players, and I think that's what's got us through to where we are today. At the end of the day, I think we played the league champions, and they showed us probably why they are league champions. They're always a hard team to play against. If they played TNS, they probably gave us a bit of a lesson today. But it gives us the incentive to show where we need to be.
Despite the result, the future looks bright for Aber Town. An excellent season bringing many new fans through the gates to experience the excitement of Park Avenue.
I very much hope that from the young people who are turning up at the moment, there'll be some future directors in there, people who can fall in love with the club like I did, and still be here in 28 years' time.
We should have won.
Prima donnas. I drive up with Christian every week, so yeah, that's excuse the players. At least they managed to get their shots on target. So that's being paid for something.